In this video, I'll be looking at curve widening in the location module of RoadEng. So we've got a pair of curves here. This is a logging road. This is a very sharp pair of curves, 20-meter radius, and also we've got a narrow road. First of all, let's look at the curve widening that's provided in the curve panel. I'm looking at the first of my pair of curves, and there's the second. In both cases, we have no widening. I'm just going to enable widening here. We've got it set so that there will be an automatic width added to the curve, in this case 3 meters, and it's going to transition fully outside the BC and EC. That's the transition fraction. Just apply that, and I've turned on some shading, which is relatively new in the software, but everything else here refers to way back to version 7, I think. So you can see the widening for the first curve. Let's add the same on the second curve, and there you can see the road has been widened on the inside only. I could choose outside as well, and of course that's quite different. Now what I want to do next is put in an asymmetric curve widening. So this is all quite simple, and it's been around for a long time. Fairly recently we added a thing called parameter overrides, which allows you to change the width of the road along the length, and that's perfect for doing a asymmetric curve widening. Okay, so let's remove this curve widening back to 0. Do that on the previous curve as well. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to widen on the left here and on the right there. And the logic here is that your logging trucks, they can load up their trailer and become short when they return to get a new load of logs. When they leave with their logs, they're long and they need to have widening. So they only need widening in one direction. Assign by range. In older versions of the software, it's not in the corridor ribbon, but there is an assign by range in the home ribbon as well. Overrides. First, we have to find the width parameter. It depends on your template. I'm using our default resource road template, so it's called width. But in general, you want to search through here and find the parameter that refers to the width of the road. So let's do the left side first. Starting at station 260, I'm going to add an override. Let's call it curve widening. And I don't need to change from the default. All I need to do is put in the station number. Then I'm going to add another one just like it. In fact, duplicate is easier. And this time we'll change the station number to 290. Now that doesn't change the width of the road at all. Let's duplicate one more time, and somewhere in the middle here, let's call it 270. I'm going to put in an actual override that does something. Let's add an extra 3 meters to the road width. So between 0 and 260, we're using the default road width. It's important that I put that in there because now it only starts tapering at 260 up to the new wider road. And I got that wrong, actually. I don't want to make the width. I want to add 3 meters to the existing road, which means I want 5 meters. Okay, and then we taper back down to 290. There's the regular width, and it continues with that width to the end of the road. And there we are. There's my incoming widening on the left-hand side, and I'll just do the same thing on the right-hand side. Now there is a function in the overrides to allow you to select a group and duplicate them. However, it only stays with the parameter that you've modified. So if I had another curve where I wanted some widening on the left, I could use that duplicate feature. Or if I just wanted to move this a little bit, let's say I want to move it along a little ways, I can just modify the 3 selected items and change the start station. So there I moved it 5 meters back. How about 5 meters ahead? See what that looks like. So now it starts at 265, ends at 295, and you can see that it's moved a little bit. These there is widening here. The shading is just truncating right there. It's not a change in the. That's not where it stops. It stops right here. Okay. So to do the right-hand side, I need to find the parameter and do the same thing all over again. And there we have the widening on the other side of the road as we leave the curve. Of course, my labels are wrong because I adjusted that one to be in a slightly different spot. And that's it. You can use either the built-in curve widening, which gives you symmetric curve widening that is centered, that is related, the transition is related to the begin curve, end curve. Or you can use overrides either from your corridor assigned by range or home assigned by range, and overrides allow you to change the width at any point along the alignment. And there is a tool in here, like I said, to duplicate. Let's say we had another curve I'm just going to type in a station here, it doesn't really matter for experiment's sake. Another curve at station 500. There it is. I've added the same widening parameter at station 500. And you can also use that modify or duplicate function to shrink the length or the width. So the length is here. It's 30 meters long. I could change that to 20. It would shorten it up. So now it's 500 to 520. And I could also change the width. That will narrow it down, so that 5 will change. So if I change this to 80%, that changes to a 4. And you can also multiply select to delete items too. Thank you for watching.